In Baltimore, and all right, Howard Bank, a relentless commitment to be the best at everything they do. Also brought to you by Royal Farms, real fresh, real fast, the tasty coffee, the best fried chicken that I can't get in Minnesota because I'm in the Mall of America with Luke here. I also cannot get Pizza John's here. My wife is coming. Please bring me some with some green pepper and some sausage. And Luke, you prefer the meat sauce, correct?
Oh, the meat sauce and the pepperoni.
He's a meat sauce guy. I'm a regular sauce guy, but that's, it's
I heard Lucas was a meat guy.
Meat sauce, that's his thing right there.
Meat sauce
meat
and
sauce.
pepperoni.
Absolutely, man.
BJ's been here a minute and he's already starting trouble.
Pipe down over here, all right? BJ Ganem is here. He is my friend now, almost like long-time friendship.
5 years,
We are Facebook friends. We did meet in New York. You were doing the Letterman show. I mean, I wasn't invited that night or whatever, but
that was the warm-up for him doing your show.
That's true. That's true.
No, he did my show the day before, and I looked up. I'm like, had the dude from my show today get on Letterman tonight. But and then we wound up in the bar next door to Letterman because we lived next door to where Letterman. Yeah. And you were in the bar all night, and we closed the place down. And next thing I know, I'm almost a Packers fan.
That's right.
But not
we were watching my Letterman episodes. So it was pretty fun.
I was watching him on TV with him.
That's right.
At 11:30,
still in the same clothes.
Because they taped that at like 7 o'clock, right?
Yeah, like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, give me the lowdown. BJ Ganem is a veteran, United States military veteran, and is missing a leg. I'm missing a finger. We talk about our amputee. Hold your leg up for everybody on the camera so everybody can see this. I feel like I'm at a Def Leppard concert. That's what they do there.
There we go.
This is BJ, and this is BJ's leg.
This is right.
And so give us – you've been here every year for Wounded Warriors. The long and the short of this, you're going to do this for a long time. I think people are going to want to participate in this and be involved. Snoop's been involved. You bring out all the celebrities. You've even tried to get me, but I'm holding out.
We're holding out, man. My most elusive amputee friend here, trying to get him on the team.
I don't think of myself as an amputee. I don't think it's even fair.
You're missing a part.
I am missing a part.
You're missing a part. All right, so we include everybody. Right?
There you go.
That's right. So it's a flag football game. It's kind of like the Harlem Globetrotters. We have a lot of fun, a lot of comedy going on. Yeah, exactly. And so it's been great. One thing I did want to say on the legs, people are probably wondering, why has he got crows written on his leg? Those are the initials of the 5 guys that I lost in my unit in Iraq in 2004. So that's Contafio, Ramey, O'Donnell, Warrens, and Simon.
What year?
2004. I got injured Thanksgiving in 2004, Thanksgiving night. Ramey, O'Donnell, Warrens, and Simon got injured November 8th. Contafio was killed the same night I was.
Afghanistan?
Iraq.
Iraq. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, and then you come back and you got to make a new life for yourself.
That's right.
You got family, people love you, American flag, we're doing all that stuff, we're getting you a leg. And then this football thing happens. Like, I'm sure just the trauma of all of this, I'm missing about 5 years of this, right? I mean, between 4 and 9, some really bad things probably happened.
And it was mostly between my ears. George W. Bush painted me in the Portraits of Courage. I was one of those 60 vets that he painted.
Incredible.
And my story is true. I had a DUI. I was about to lose my job. I already lost my marriage. I was going through a bankruptcy, short sale of the house. And finally,
there's a lot of complications I don't even know about, right? I mean, we've never discussed this.
No. So finally I looked in the mirror, and the common denominator was me. So I needed to pull my own head out of my own ass and start making some changes.
I'm doing that on Friday, by the way. I'm making a big announcement Friday, so I'm letting people know I'm turning 50 this year.
50?
We all have to come up.
You don't look a day over 55.
Sexy. Yeah, I think we all have that moment, and for me, thankfully, it's not getting my leg blown off in a war and coming back and trying to figure it all out. But the football thing, I see what you do around the year now, on Facebook, and this isn't a one-hit wonder for you. You don't just swoop in here and do this. I think the other 51 weeks of the year, you're out dealing with other people in the circumstance you're in.
So I just started a new.
And we're losing soldiers every day over there. I mean, it's not front-page news.
No, it's not front-page news. And the thing is that. Well, I think I've boiled it down to what it is at the very most simplest. World War II and Vietnam and all these other conflicts, we had whole neighborhoods going. These wars here, we've only had 5 million people impacted by a 17-year war. World War II was a 7-year war. We had 16.5 million people deployed. We only had 40 million people in the country. You've had 3 million people served since 9/11, and we've got 330 million people in the country. So the biggest thing is when we come back, we know the cost of what it is to have this freedom, even with all the BS that's happening in the country, right? Politically and media-wise and everything else. This country still has the best opportunity for greatness than any other place on earth. And it's on us as each individuals to do our part. Not one person can do it, and it's not going to be some other organization or agency that's going to do it for us. But so I just try to do my part. And so I started an organization called Sierra Delta, and we focus on the service dog industry for veterans.
And sponsored by Blue Buffalo.
And sponsored by Blue Buffalo and PetSmart. And, so it's a unique idea. We need to start – we don't need to do everything. We just need to find out what we're really good at. And what I'm really good at is connecting veterans to other things, working through their claims with them. And what we really want to do is build a community. That's what we need. We need to come together, not only just in the veteran community, but in just as Americans in general, right? We got a lot of tough conversations to have. People ask me all the time about the kneeling, right?
Sure.
I've been following Colin Kaepernick for the past year or two since he started doing this, and I'm amazed at what he's done with his own money and with his own time and helping people in prison, helping people.
In the end, his story will be incredibly impactful,
right,
even for the people that despise it or dismiss right, it. Certainly in Baltimore, we are going through a major conversation about
right,
this with football fans who are Trumpers or kneelers or patriots. Everybody's got an opinion on it. But we got 30,000 people not going to games now in Baltimore.
Right.
And they're pissed off at the team. They're pissed off at the owner. The owner's got to come out.
But it's a conversation we need to have. We have 3 million people.
We can't stop talking about it.
Right.
Because guys like you are taking guns and going over there and having this and coming back. We got to talk about this.
That's right. And if you can't, and it's not the police. I don't want to say I'm definitely pro-police. I'm not mad at the police. It's the systems that we have in place. It's just like the VA. I'm not mad at the VA people that are working there. The system needs to be overhauled. The things that we make criminal in the land of the free shouldn't be criminal. We have people locked up that should not be locked up. I mean, we should have learned, we started with this law, law and order, starting with Nixon, continuing all the way through Clinton. I mean, Clinton militarized all our rural police. We've got to have the conversation. We've got to understand that liberty is for everybody, even if it's somebody that doesn't agree with what you agree with. You got to allow them their space to have their freedom so long as it's not infringing on you.
BJ Ganem is here. He's a veteran. He's a Wounded Warrior. He puts together the Wounded Warrior football game that they have at the Super Bowl every year. It's for amputees. I'm one of them, so he keeps inviting me.
That's right.
I don't know why. I would love to catch a pass from Rich Ganem, so I do that. And Kenny Mayne was a quarterback in his day. A lot of people don't know that. But
Kenny's there all the time.
So Kenny Mayne, let's see here. Jen Welter, Rich Ganem, Maurice Jones-Drew, Jack Youngblood, Ryan Leaf, Ron Jaworski, Nate Boyer, who we're going to have here.
Yeah.
Speak about Colin Kaepernick, right?
Yeah, he's the one that told him to kneel instead of
Nate
sit.
Boyer's stories. I'm delighted to have him by this week as well. So the upshot of this is, do you do any of these games in other places the rest of the year?
We do. We just had one in New England. We had Drew Bledsoe. We played Veterans Day in New England. We had Drew Bledsoe and a bunch of other Patriots. Joe Andruzzi's a great supporter.
Guy.
Yeah. And I think September 1st this year we're playing in Dallas with the Dallas Cowboys again. So we put it on. It all depends on we don't raise a ton of money. We just do enough to cover our expenses. And
it's awareness.
It's awareness. Yeah. And basically we're trying to inspire people. Listen, we've got guys that are missing both legs, guys that are missing both arms that have caught a pass, guys that are blind. And you know this with what your wife is going through, right? Life is going to throw you curveballs. And it's on you to respond to it in whichever way you deem possible. But life isn't going to get better when somebody else does it for you. It's going to get better when you do it for yourself. And what we try to do is showcase that, hey, even with these missing limbs and the other things that we had going against us when we came back, we can still go out there and challenge ourselves and perform and give back. A lot of us still have a lot to give back to our community. We found a lot of parallels with the NFL players, a lot of TBIs, traumatic brain injuries, being hit in the head.
Sure.
The other thing is that whether you're in the military or in the NFL, once your career is over, there's no substitute for that in American society. There's no way to be at that elite level again, and that's a big void to fill. And that was our identity, whether it's the helmets that they wore, the uniforms that we wore, that was our identity. And that's a hard thing to kind of get over and transition from. People will say, well, get over yourself. You're a football player. You were in the military. You should just get over it. Why do we think that way? Why pile on people? Why not help them through the transition and stuff? And just like, I mean, what Jen's going through with the cancer, that's stuff that we need to be more aware of every single day. Just take into consideration what it takes to have chemo put into your body and kill even all the living cells, and how do you come back from that?
Oh, we're trying to figure that out as well. How do people reach you, BJ?
BJGanem.com. You can find me there. You can find me on Facebook, BJ Ganem. About the only BJ Ganem that's out there. I'm probably the most reachable guy in the world.
Still a Packer guy?
You know, I like the Packers. They treated me well. They treated all the vets well. I love that they brought back our Vietnam-era veterans and did LZ Lambeau. You know,
wow.
I think it's something that's another hard conversation, how we treated the Vietnam-era veterans and how we're treating them today, how we lost more to suicide than we have in combat. A Vietnam-era veteran.
That's an incredible statistic.
That's awful, and that's on us, and we have to take ownership.
Vietnam
veteran. Exactly. We got to take ownership of that. So, you know, there's a lot of good out there, and we just got to quit our bitching and get to work.
All right, BJ Ganem's here. He's doing the Wounded Warrior game. You can check it all out at bjganem.com as well.
Oh, you know, I want to tell you, too.
WWAFT.org.
I want to tell you, I don't know if we have time, but I'm just going to interject this anyways. I watched that Baltimore boys, what our friend
Bobby
Sablehouse did, and I got to tell you what, I always love Spud. But after watching that,
you're a Muggsy guy.
Muggsy guy. After watching that, that's an amazing story. I mean,
I love Muggsy.
I mean, just that group of basketball players that came from Baltimore, and just everything that happened in Baltimore. If you haven't seen it, that 30 for 30 is amazing. The Baltimore boys.
You know why I love Muggsy? During the basketball strike of 1998, I was at Game 4 of the World Series in San Diego, and the Yankees beat the Padres in Game 4. I had a flight out of San Diego like 3 days later, so we jaunted into Vegas.
Yeah.
We landed in Vegas and went over to the Rio, and the NBA was on strike, and all the players were meeting there. And I walked in the lobby, and there's Muggsy. Muggsy sees me, gives me a hug, says hello, come on in the club, you hang out. And I sit at a table, and there's me and Charles Barkley. Barkley bought me beer all night because of Muggsy. Now, you and Muggsy, you all right, you know.
You're all right. Yeah. It's an amazing story. I mean,
you don't look terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So Muggsy got me beer from Charles Barkley, so I love Muggsy.
Absolutely.
I'm a Muggsy guy.
How
BJ Ganem, WWAFT.org, Wounded Warriors
Amputee Football Team, minus Nasty because he won't come out with his amputated
the holdout.
Finger. The holdout. We don't pay anybody, man. We just do it for free. Come on, I told you.
You guys, you're killing me, man. I really want to do this one day, but
you know,
every year I sit in front of you, and I don't have a lot of like shame in my life, but you shame me. You do.
Yeah. Yeah. All you gotta do is come out. You're a sports guy. This is right up your alley. It's Super Bowl week. Why aren't you playing?
Night. Gosh. All right, I gotta take a break.
All right.
Done.
Thank you, guys.
You know, I do love. I'll drink it with you anytime.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, at least we have that.
Yeah,
BJ Ganem, Wounded Warriors, joining us here. It's all brought to you by our friends at Howard Bank. A relentless commitment to be the best at everything they do at Howard Bank. We do appreciate them stepping up and being a big sponsor of all the things we're doing out here at the Mall of America and Radio Row for Super Bowl 52. Also brought to you by our friends at D&L Window Tinting. 26 years of tinting everything. At some point, they may tint the roof here at the Mall of America. It's messing with my light on my camera as well. D&L Window Tinting in White Marsh and Parkville. 27 years now, they put the shades on the sun. I am Nestor. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, and WNST Towson, Baltimore. And we never stop talking Baltimore sports.